Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, this is just 1 cent, it's not worth much? Well, what if I told you that one very special penny from 2009 could be worth a lot more than you think? In fact, some of them have sold for hundreds, and even thousands of dollars. That's not a myth, it's real. Today we're going to talk about one of those pennies, the 2009 Lincoln penny with the birth and early childhood design. This coin shows a little log cabin on the back, and to many people, it's just a normal coin. But for collectors and experts, it's something very special. In 2009, the United States Mint released a series of Lincoln pennies to celebrate two very important things. First, it was the 200th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, who was born in 1809. Second, it was the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent, which first came out in 1909. To honor this big year, the U.S. Mint decided to make 4 different designs on the back of the penny, with each design showing a different part of Lincoln's life. The first design was called Birth and Early Childhood, and that's the one we're focusing on today. This design shows a small log cabin that represents the place where Abraham Lincoln was born in Kentucky. The design is simple but meaningful. It shows Lincoln's humble beginnings, growing up in a one-room log cabin. It reminds people that even someone who came from such a modest background could grow up to become one of the greatest presidents in U.S. history. This is part of why collectors love the 2009 pennies. They're not just coins, they're like little pieces of American history. Now, this particular penny came from 2 different mints. If your penny has no letter under the date, it was made in Philadelphia. If it has a small d under the date, it was made in Denver. There are also some made in San Francisco, with an S mint mark, but those were special proof coins made for collectors. The ones you usually find in your change are either from Philadelphia or Denver. The Denver one is the 2009 D penny we are talking about today. When these coins were made, they came in 2 main types of metal. The ones made for everyday use, the ones you find in your pocket or get as change at a store, are made mostly of zinc, with a thin layer of copper on the outside. They weigh about 2.5 grams. But the U.S. Mint also made a special set for collectors that were made out of real copper, just like the original 1909 pennies. Those heavier copper coins weigh about 3.11 grams and feel a little more solid in your hand. These special coins were never meant to be used in stores. They were sold as part of collector sets, and they were kept in very good condition. Most of the 2009 birth and early childhood pennies that you'll find are the zinc version. The Philadelphia Mint made around 284 million of them, and the Denver Mint made over 350 million. So if you're wondering if these coins are rare, well, the answer is not really. At least not in the regular version. Because so many were made, and because most of them look the same, most of these coins are still only worth 1 cent if they're worn out or scratched up. Even shiny, uncirculated ones are usually only worth a few cents more than face value, maybe 20 to 50 cents at most. But here's where things get interesting. Some of these coins have special qualities or mistakes that make them worth much more. In the coin world, mistakes are called errors, and some errors are so rare that collectors are willing to pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars just to get one. That's what makes this penny so exciting. Not every 2009 penny is valuable, but the right one, with the right mistake or in the right condition, could be worth big money. One of the most common ways a coin can be worth more is when it has what's called a double die. This happens when the die, that's the stamp used to press the image onto the coin, shifts slightly between strikes, causing parts of the design to appear twice. It can look like the letters are blurry or like there's a shadow behind them. If you find a 2009 penny where the words, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," look doubled, you might have a valuable error coin. Some double die pennies from 2009 have sold for $50, $100, or even more depending on how strong the doubling is and what condition the coin is in. Another kind of error that collectors look for is called an off-center strike. This is when the coin wasn't lined up correctly when it was being made, so the design is pushed to one side. Part of the design might be missing, and the edges of the coin might look thicker on one side than the other. A small off-center error might be worth $20 to $50, but a big one, say 30% or more off-center, could be worth a few $100s, especially if the coin is in great shape. Then there are coins that have die cracks, or cuds. A die crack is when the metal stamp used to make the coin starts to break, and that crack shows up as a raised line on the coin. A cud is when a chunk of the die actually breaks off, leaving a blob or missing section on the coin surface. These errors aren't as easy to spot unless you know what to look for, but they're popular with collectors and can sell for anywhere from $10 to over $100 depending on how dramatic the error is. Some other coins have been found with things like clash dies, where the front and back dies strike each other without a coin between them, causing weird ghost-like images to appear where they shouldn't. Or repunched mint marks, where the little letter like the D for Denver was stamped more than once and looks doubled. These are less common, but they still happen and collectors are always hunting for them. And of course, the condition of the coin matters a lot. If your penny has no scratches, no dents, and still shines like new, it can be worth more than one that's been passed around for years. Coin grading is a system used to rate how perfect a coin is. A coin in mint state 60 is in good shape, but one that's mint state 65 or mint state 67 is even better. The highest grades MS68 or MS69 are extremely rare, and coins with those grades can sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars if they also have a rare error. There have even been stories online about someone selling a 2009 D penny with the birth and early childhood design for $4,800. Now, that's a very high price for a penny, and it's important to know that not every coin with that date or design is worth that much. That kind of price would only happen if the coin had something really special going on, maybe a major error, or it was in a perfect MS69 grade, or it had some kind of unusual feature that made it one of a kind. These sales are very rare, and most people will never find a penny worth that much. But the fact that it's possible makes it really exciting to check your change. If you want to check your pennies, here's how you can do it. First, get a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. This will help you look closely at the letters, numbers, and design on the coin. Next, weigh the coin using a small digital scale. A normal 2009 penny made for circulation should weigh around 2.5 grams. If your coin weighs closer to 3.1 grams, you might have one of the special copper versions. That alone doesn't make it super valuable, but it does make it a little more interesting to collectors. You should also look for any doubling, cracks, or areas where the image looks strange. Compare it to a normal penny to see if anything stands out. If you think you found something special, take clear pictures of the coin front and back and show them to a coin expert or post them on a coin collecting forum. You can also send the coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, who can tell you the exact grade and whether there's an error that adds value. When handling coins, always hold them by the edges, not the front or back, because your fingers can leave oil or dirt that damages the coin surface. And never try to clean a coin with soap, polish, or anything else. Cleaning a coin can ruin its value. Collectors want coins in their original condition, even if they're a little dirty. The great thing about coin collecting is that it's fun, and you never know what you might find. You could check your piggy bank or a coin jar and come across something really valuable. And even if you don't, just learning about these coins and the history behind them can be a cool hobby. It's like a treasure hunt, and the treasure could be sitting in your pocket right now. So to sum it all up, the 2009 birth and early childhood penny is a special coin because it marks an important year in history. Most of them are common and only worth a few cents, but certain versions with errors or in